And hello there folks, RJB here from RJB TV, and it's time for game number 2 between Rabbit and GOSU. In the previous episode, GOSU managed to thwart Rabbit's evil plans with a well-timed, well-executed tank drop that really just completely ruined all of Rabbit's plans. His plans were no more. The economy was gone. GOSU managed to pull off the win off the back of that very well executed tank drop. Rabbit, though, did not give up after the tank drop, and he kept fighting hard and almost made a comeback himself. He almost made a comeback. It just wasn't meant to be, sadly for Rabbit. So GOSU here on the pink Terran on the 7 o'clock spawn location, and Rabbit here on the blue Protoss, the 11 o'clock on the name Jun 2354287. And it could mean something. Maybe the number sequence is important. Maybe it is the code to his bank account. Maybe it's the code to his phone. Who knows? I don't know. It means something. What it is, not sure. So what are these two players going to do? Rabbit on a corner spawn tends to play, in my opinion, a better build order than when he's on a middle spawn. Because in the previous game he was on a middle spawn and he went for triple gateway in his choke. And as we all saw, that didn't really, benefit him too much. The rush he went for didn't achieve much. His economy was slowed down. And then he lost all of his 3 gateways after some minor harassment in GOSU's base. Now GOSU is actually taking a slight little bit of risk here. He's taking a slight little bit of risk. Going for a command center first. So in the case that Rabbit had gone for 3 gateways in his choke in this game in particular, it might have just won him the game. But he didn't. He did not go for triple gateway in the choke. So he's going to... I think this situation is better for the Terran. If the Terran can get away with a command center first this early into the match, it will have a greater benefit for the Terran than a Nexus first does for the Protoss. That's what I believe. Double Zealot on the way, so we went for a gateway, Nexus. So it's still somewhat of a mixture of a middle spawn build order where you want to be a little bit more aggressive by the virtue of being closer to your opponent. Less traveling distance always means it's going to be easier to attack, but because if you spend less time traveling, by the time you arrive in your enemy's base, they will have less units to defend. Traveling time is one of the most underrated mechanics in the game, often overlooked. It really affects your build order tremendously. Are your timings of attack going to be as you want them to be? Or are they going to be slower or faster because of those traveling times to and from the enemy base? It means they're pushing those Zealots away. Zealots not really posing much of a threat. So yes, wise choice to pull away and to wait for more Zealots. It might look like GOSU is under the impression that Rabbit maybe went for a 1 gateway build order. So the 4 Zealots all joining up might actually catch him slightly by surprise, depending on how aggressive GOSU is going to be with those Marines. So far, no fear at all in those eyes. The Marines are posturing forward, and yes, they overextend a little bit too far. But they do turn around just in time. But a couple of those on the front, a couple of those Marines in the front might take some damage, but medics arrive on the scene just in time to save the day. Stim should be finished up soon as well. He might try to break through that choke. Got double cannon on the way. Double cannon might be too late. There's 5 Zealots in between, and the cannon finishes up just on time. So no worries anymore there for Rabbit. He bought himself enough time to get the cannons up and running, getting 1 more cannon. Couple more Zealots, double row behind the choke, 1 gateway in the pylon in the front. A pylon in the front to just be there as an extra obstruction to break through before hitting those cannons in the back. Citadel of Adun there, support there on the way as well. Triple barrack there for GOSU. We're getting a third command center. He's already on 35 SCVs. He's got more SCVs than there are probes. It's engineering bay, that's a factory, getting one starport, and he's going to start constructing turrets as well. I believe he's going to start building turrets once that engineering bay finishes up. So the Marines are there posturing in the front, threatening Rabbit. Will it force him to build more cannons? Yes. These Marines are not enough to kill 4 cannons and all those Zealots, but Rabbit doesn't know how many Marines GOSU has. Rabbit has to play under the impression that maybe GOSU went for 5 barracks and a factory, no starports, and only 1 extra command center, or maybe no command center at all. He has to function under the assumption that he is, in fact, in danger from those Marines. And that's kind of why the Terrans go for that slight little bit of pressure. It's non-lethal pressure with the Marines. One is to test and push the Protoss to force themselves to defend themselves more. Because if they don't, the Marines can realistically... Oh, great move. He scanned Choke, saw the shuttle leave, pulled the Marines, but the shuttle reaper mic there from Rabbit is too good. The Marines do nothing at all, and now their lives are forsaken. There's nowhere to go. He's going to try to run in circles, but not really going to be successful. The shuttle there still on the top side, going to try to keep it out of harm's way for now, and have the Zealots kill the Marines first. Wraith on the way, they're hunting down the shuttle. Oh, that's a great move, but he's just short of finding the shuttle. And there it is, finds it. So forced to unload those Reavers. The Raider arrives just on time, well played there by GOSU. Strong wall there in the front. A lot of depots. Gonna maybe build one more right there and seal off the front side entirely. It's nigh impossible to break through that choke with Zealots. The Reavers might be able to do it. They do a lot of splash damage. They can hit every single structure in a block all at the same time by targeting on that bunker. The Scarab will fly right here and explode right there and hit all 4 structures. So one Reaver went down. He's kind of just giving up on the Reavers. He picked one up with another shuttle. Tries to go for a frontal break, but... Oh, he gets the tank. Beautifully done, but loses the Zealots. Loses the Reaver. Kills the turret, kills the tank, but... Honestly, I think he would have been better off waiting a little bit longer and going for a bigger drop than that. We do have 5 robos though, and 6 gateways, Temple's Archive in the back, Observatory as well for the raids, because the raids will probably get cloaked at some point, getting air attack upgrade as well, and level 1 attack for his level 2 attack for the Zealots, correction, or level 2 attack, getting Stargate, getting gateways. This is for Corsairs to help the shuttles fly in. We got scans coming out all over the base, sees the front, sees the back. It's a lot of valuable information from GOSU. Specifically knowing that those shuttles are out on the map should allow him to formulate a response to the shuttles that should soon be coming across the map. But he's got 1 shuttle, 2 shuttles with the Reavers inside, and the other 3 have nothing inside yet. A lot of Zealots waiting to be picked up, loaded up, and dropped inside GOSU's base. Got 4 raids at the moment there inside his base, and 2 outside of his base. Shuttles are going over the right side. Might go over the front side. A lot of turrets all over the place. He's got vision on the sides. The shuttle should not be capable of sneaking through. He's gonna go for a frontal attack first. He's got bunkers in the front and 3 tanks, 2 sieged up. Reaver's gonna unload. Raids are coming in hot. A lot of raids, 6 of them in total. Reaver's not really doing much. The idea he has is good, trying to break through, but the fact that GOSU went for the triple command center at the start, he's so rich, he has much more units and structures than he would have if he didn't go for the early command centers. He would have had way less. His supply will be lower, his base will be smaller. He's basically cheated the system by gambling on Rabbit not being too aggressive in the early game. Even though Rabbit is usually pretty aggressive right at the start with a triple gateway. But this is one of the few games where Rabbit didn't do that. And it has allowed GOSU to basically start the race with a head start. He's ahead of Rabbit purely because of his economy. Supply's bigger, more workers. Does he have more production? I wouldn't say... not yet. Not yet. It's triple barracks, triple factory, double starport. Doesn't have a bigger production ability yet, because we do have a lot of stargates here, like 4 stargates, 5 stargates, and it's 5 gateways, 6 gateways, that's 11, so 11, 5, 5. So there's more production for Rabbit at the moment, but Rabbit is forced to attack because there's a timer, there's a clock ticking. He has to hurt GOSU pretty quick, pretty soon, and pretty hard if he doesn't want GOSU to become an impenetrable fortress, because look at him, he's doing a lot of things to prevent himself from ever taking any damage from Rabbit whatsoever at any point in time. Scans come down all over the place, scans the front, scans the sides. He's looking for shuttles with these scans. Looking for shuttles, doesn't find shuttles there on the side, saw shuttles there in the front. They're all being loaded up, saw the stargates as well, so he might start building something to deal with those carriers. They have a gas proxy base for the carriers, because carriers are quite expensive on the gas, and Rabbit always builds a proxy gas base in order to have the required income of gas to build carriers pretty much continuously. Corsairs are hunting for the race, they're right there on the side. Observer there in the mix as well. Shuttles are coming in a load on the top side. Reavers on the scene, Zealots on the scene. It's going to be a pretty hard-hitting drop. Corsairs can't quite kill all the raids there though. Observer, I assume the Observer got taken down pretty early into that drop. More Observers arriving on the scene. Raids are target number 1. Zealots and Reavers didn't kill too much. GOSU's supply is almost still maxed out. Rabbit invested a lot in that one, but couldn't quite find the raids. For some reason, the Observer went down immediately, and it denied him from killing the raids as he had in mind. So now the raid's gonna kill pylons on the side. Gas proxy base not yet fully operational. Another drop there on the way. Got their Corsairs going up ahead and try to kill some of those low HP raids, and they kill them with ease. 2 Corsairs, 7 raids, easy. Comes in, Goliaths on the scene, tanks on the top corner. Shuttles are going all the way, and Valkyries in between. Valkyries are going to finish the job, and goodbye, shuttles. 1-1 there on the Valkyries. We have 0-0 on the tanks. He went for air upgrades first, knowing that Rabbit is very reliant on drops and is less of a mass attack front door breaking player. And he played that exactly right. GOSU is playing this exactly right. It's very defensive, but do remember, we're only 13 minutes in, and he is maxed out. He has the potential to attack. Of course, just moving forward, hunting for those raids, but now they're gonna try to kill the Valkyries there as well. He's gonna do something to take care of that anti-air. The raids, the Valkyries, even the Goliaths, are prime candidates in taking down those shuttles with a relatively little effort. We do have 9 stargates. We have a fleet beacon. I don't see the fleet beacon yet. He's largely still relying on using the Corsairs to escort those shuttle drops into GOSU's base, and GOSU looks to be posturing to break free and start the attack. He's going to start the attack right here, right now. It's time to move. It's time to start the fight. 13 minutes and 30 seconds in. GOSU has grown big enough, strong enough, rich enough, and the upgrades are 1-1 on the tank. So he waited for 1-1 upgrades on the tanks before he decided to move out. And now Rabbit is in more trouble than before because he has to start hitting hard with this drop specifically. He's got a lot of Corsairs, a lot of shuttles, all raring to kill the Valkyries. Valkyries are in between, waiting, biding their time. Valkyries are getting attacked there by the Corsairs. Valkyries are shooting on the shuttles. Shuttles might go in all the way with their... Do they have upgrades? 1 armor upgrade. Shuttles are loading. Temples on the scene. Reavers on the scene. Shooting. Hitting. Storms are doing a lot of damage. Not a lot of SCVs go down there, though. The SCVs took a lot of damage, but they all magically stay alive. Look at this. They all stayed alive on 4 HP. Oh my god, they're returning a little bit too early there, though. And nope, not too early, just on time. Carrier proxy base are getting killed by Marines, and the front door getting broken open by tanks. How is Rabbit gonna survive this one? The drop was almost the best drop in the history of mankind. Oh, almost kills the remaining ones. But yeah, now GOSU, 68 SCVs still alive. That's more than enough. He only needs like 60. And he still even built 2 more. So he is completely fine. His economy is in great shape. Whereas Rabbit's economy, also in great shape. His gas, not so much in great shape. He's kind of low on gas. He cannot comfortably transition to carriers. He does have carriers on the way. And he did buy himself some time by clearing out that army that was inside of his choke, killing his robos, killing his choke and robos. Getting more pylons there behind it. Gonna build cannons as well. It's gonna basically fill this entire front portion with cannons and maybe some shield batteries. But look here in GOSU's base. GOSU is finishing up his base, making sure that he has the absolute maximum efficient base possible. Turrets everywhere. Command centers floating everywhere. He's going to put all his command centers on top of his main command center to make it almost impossible for carriers to snipe and kill the command center. He's got like 6-7 structures floating on top. He's not leaving anything up to chance. He's not taking any risks. He's doing everything by the book. Maybe not the most aggressive player, but maybe one of the smartest and most self-controlled players I've seen in a long, long time. He is displaying huge amounts of self-control and game sense. No risks are taken. He's not trying to show off. He's doing everything by the book. Carriers arriving in the front, carriers turning around because Goliaths are on the ground and they're quite troublesome. A lot of Templars buying time against the tanks, vessel in the air, might try to EMP those carriers because a couple of cannons are finished up to aid in protecting that choke. Shield batteries would really do a whole lot. Valkyries in the air there, very aggressive use of Valkyries because GOSU knows that he took out robotics production for quite a bit. There's no shuttles currently on the map, which means there's no danger of drops coming across the map to kill his workers. So that's why he pulled the Valkyries to the front here to aid in pushing onto those carriers and pushing onto that base. I needed a drink. I really needed a drink. I'm still somewhat recovering from the flu. And as I said in the previous video, the flu never really hits me hard. Like, it's kind of just like a mild inconvenience. My voice gets so itchy. My throat gets so itchy. My nose gets so stuffy. That's pretty much the only inconvenience I suffer from the flu or just anything. Even COVID. I had a headache and an itchy throat from COVID and nothing else. And it was gone in one day. I got lucky. Yeah, fight there. Carriers against Valkyries. Some Goliaths in the mix. Zealots here spawning on the low ground. Temples in the mix. Temples gonna storm all those tanks to Kingdom Come. Should be an easy clear. The big problem is really the Valkyries. The carriers are not nearly as effective as they would like to be. Those Valkyries are just absolutely hamming up the place. They're 2-2 upgrades against the carriers with their 2-1-2. The carriers are just dying miserably. Unable to protect themselves from harm. And now Rabbit is making some new carriers, but the current ones he had are all gone. Which now gives us a very... Oh, wait. Oh, good God. Good Lord. A drop snuck in while I was distracted with the carriers here back at home, so he managed to get in after all. He's down to 26 SCVs. A big drop hit him right where it counts. Now GOSU missed it, I missed it, and Rabbit managed to hit it. So now GOSU's push attempt is basically completely shut down. Not because it got defended, I mean it did get defended pretty well, but mostly because he ran out of money to keep sending more units across the map. He is almost maxed out, he's rebuilding his SCVs, but that did take the wind out of his sails. It did slow down the race for GOSU. So Rabbit is still in the race here, he's not over. Like, I would have called it a GG if that drop hadn't hit. I would have called it a GG. So pulling the Valkyries away from home and positioning them here to fight the carriers allowed Rabbit to hit a drop, and that is important. Aggressive Valkyrie use has advantages and its disadvantages. you lose your defensive anti-drop in order to gain the advantage of anti-carrier. Is it worth it? In this specific case, he killed the carriers but lost his economy. But he's recovering. He's on 56 SCVs and a couple more are in production. He should be recovering his money pretty soon, although those 6 SCVs right there are blocked into a prison in between 2 comsats, 2 command centers, and a factory. These cannot get out. These are stuck. That's kind of funny to see that they're stuck. Nowhere to go for those poor SCVs. Fight there on the middle happening. Some zealots overpowering, overrunning some poor tanks and Goliaths that are just trying to kill the Protoss. Big tank drop there coming in. Oh, EMP there on the Nexus. He found a spot in the top corner with a scan earlier. This is great. This is beautiful. Tanks are under attack there by the Probes. Probes going to try to save the day, but the Nexus is under grave danger. Carriers coming in to try to save the day, but there's 4 more tanks. You got a lot more shots in those tanks. Doesn't quite finish off the Nexus there, though. But it's low. 319 HP. It's amazing that he sniffed out that weakness. He scanned the Nexus and saw, hey, wait a second, there's not a lot of cannons in the back. I can go for a drop on the Nexus. And he killed the Probes as well, so he returned the favor. Now it's a Rabbit who's in trouble. Now it's a Rabbit who is in economic trouble. And I do think he saw the drop on the bottom side, so the Valkyries should have an easy time hunting this down and killing it, so they run away, but now carriers from the top side coming in to try and distract and buy some time to pull the attention from the Valkyries up to the north to allow the drop on the bottom to get in. Now we got a fight here on the top side. Valkyries there behind the turrets doing, well, a great job. There's a lot of turrets and Valkyries. The carriers are losing interceptors quick. And a push happening at the same time as well. Now GOSU is not going all in, but he's playing is very, very smart. Breaks there on the scene, scans, finds the shuttle. Shuttles are going to get taken down there by the double Wraith. So this one saves the economy again, and that might just secure the win for GOSU. Because Rabbit is still recovering. He's got triple Nexus. He built another Nexus on the bottom side for 3 more gas. He's got 40 probes. His money is bad. It's in a bad shape. And the Nexus is still a prime target to take down, which I think GOSU might go for. It's got more raids in the mix this time. More raids in the mix, so the raids might jump straight for the backside and finish off the Nexus. He's building more cannons around his Nexus, knowing that the raids are capable of sniping it. So the carriers there in the back. He's built some Corsairs as well. Corsairs are great against raids. That's 10 carriers, no shield batteries. Tempos coming to the front there to take care of those tanks and Goliaths. Rabbit is in some economic trouble. This attack has to clear out this entire push. Otherwise, GOSU is going to keep progressing forward tiny bit by tiny bit and put Rabbit in more danger and more danger as time goes on. Valkyries are on the side having a great time taking down interceptors. And in the end, GOSU wins that push. I mean, the fight isn't over yet, but he's getting closer and deeper into the choke, into the main base. Got 3-3 on his ground, 3-3 on his air. His upgrades are phenomenally good. Rabbit is on 2-2-2 for air, which is not that great for Rabbit. Not having 3-3 on the carriers really is a disadvantage against the maximum upgraded ground and air army from GOSU. He's trying to push forward, trying to kill whatever he can, but the raids in the back, the Valkyries in the back, having such an easy time doing so much damage against the carriers. He's never targeted the carriers themselves. He's just been attacking the interceptors, but every single time the interceptors return to the carriers, look at those Halo rockets just hitting the carriers for full damage. It's killing them slowly, but over time, they will all die all at once. Templars from the back, Zealots from the back, pushing forward, and some tanks in the front, storming on the Valkyries. The Valkyries ran away just in time. There's a lot of Valkyries here, though, and a lot of raids. It's 7 raids, and we have 9 carriers. Some of them went down more in the back. Arbiter's on the scene for stasis on those Valkyries. He really needs the stasis to win those fights. Arbiter comes in, gets no stasis. That was a rally point. A bad rally point. Now the Valkyries are ready to go straight for the carriers. They know they gotta end this really quick. There's only a couple of cannons there on top. And that is a slight little overextend, a little bit of an overcommitment. The carriers do kill some of the raids and the Valkyries pretty easily, but now there's reinforcements arriving as well. And his money is still down in the dumps. He can't even max out. He's on 190 supply, and 300 minerals. Things are not looking pretty at all. Now GOSU is giving us a master class in how to play without showing off. Just playing smart. Smart and solid. Pure foundational work. Everything by the textbook. This is a textbook Terran that does not take risks. Plays safe, smart, and goes for the push, taking care of every single option the Protoss has to prevent the push, to defend themselves, to kill the Terran. No, not gonna happen. Now GOSU is displaying us how it is done. Rabbit is a great Protoss, but in this game, he simply wasn't allowed to thrive, wasn't allowed to abuse the Terran at any point whatsoever. Carriers have some shield battery support. Carriers are winning the fight against the Valkyries with their replenished shields, but now they're getting target fired directly. Oh no, the carriers are dying so quick to the direct target fire. Nothing is left alive as they all go down all at the same time except for this last one, but that one is just hanging there, biding his time, praying to the gods, please do not kill me. But no, not GOSU, has no mercy, as that should seal the deal. Now the race might go in to finish off those carriers spawning this. GG there from Rabbit, and not GOSU shows that he is the superior player today, and maybe always has been. That was a great performance by not GOSU. When I started the series, I wasn't expecting it to go quite like this, but 2 Terran against Protoss wins in such a fashion that is respectable, admirable, and honestly awe-inspiring.